All right, we're in studio with San Francisco's finest, the Curtis family. C-Notes are in town performing, and you know them because I was reading your guys' bio. You do all of the events and festivals all over the Bay. Yeah?
All over the Bay, wherever we can.
Yeah, from Bayview. You're going to be in Thrive City tomorrow night. This is an event presented by the Chase Center. And Corey, you're new.
I haven't been to a Thrive City festival yet, but it sounds like it's amazing with the live music and the food, and yeah, really exciting.
So now you guys are from Bayview.
Yes,
sir. This is from walking distance from the house, then.
Yeah, well, we live in Bayview,
right?
But we lived in Midtown forever.
Yeah.
Sure.
Fillmore. 3 of the children were born in Fillmore, in the Mo.
So there's 5 children total. There's mom and dad and 5 kids.
Yes.
Right.
Let me ask you this, Mom and Dad. When you first started this adventure together, you guys got together and you're like, we're going to have lots of children and we're going to create a singing troupe. That's what we're doing. Was that the plan all along?
The plan was to have, I've always wanted 5 children.
Okay.
And so, Maestro comes from a large family in Louisiana.
Right.
And I only had 2 older siblings. So I always felt like, man, I want to have a...
You wanted a bigger family.
So, but the music was something that he and I did. He has been doing music since he was in the womb.
Sure.
And I came to music later, and we started doing it professionally and started working together. The plan wasn't for the children to pursue music. I didn't want that life.
No,
that
we
life
did
was
not.
hard for them.
Sure.
But Papa Pete Escovedo, Sheila E.'s dad, we saw him for his birthday party a while ago. And he was like, how are the children? I was like, oh, they're good. And he was like, are they in music? And I was like, no. And he was like, why? How do you think I kept an eye on Juan and Peter Michael and Sheila?
And then the light bulb went off.
Yeah, and I was like, what? And he was like, Friday, Saturday nights, they were with us.
I didn't even think about that.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, and so after that, we're like, okay, I started ushering the children in to, here, play with any instrument, let the instrument find you. We didn't know that they'd be that good. They just, they turned out just to take it. Fish to water is not even the word.
Yeah.
It's, man.
What a great way for busy work. I bet you Papa Pete just handed Sheila a pair of drumsticks and said, go sit over there.
Well, what he said was that they started playing. He saw his instruments kind of in disarray whenever he'd leave the house or be on tour. He'd come back and be like, they're on these instruments. And so they really started teaching themselves at first. So it was really a natural order with them as well. And we didn't know that till they started playing. And then when he said that, I was like, oh, that's so funny. We kind of, with his pushing, it's a very similar thing. The instruments chose them. And it's been fun ever since.
So who plays what?
Let's back this up.
Go ahead. You back it up, Dan.
Yeah.
She's just running on.
Wow.
It's we got to go back to where this all began because... I was running orchestras, and they were at all the rehearsals.
The kids were.
Soaked it in. And one day we were in the back room on a conference call, and, I kept all the instruments in the front room. And so I told my wife, can you tell them to turn the music down? And she went in there to tell them, and when she walked in there, to her surprise, they were playing White Rabbit.
Okay.
Picked up Jefferson Airplane and were playing it prolifically. We were like, wait
I
a minute.
remember that, and I don't remember why that was like our first choice, but I just remember that all the time that we would listen to Jefferson Airplane in the car, and so that was just the song that we gravitated to at one point. So
you exposed them to all different kinds of music.
It's hard not to. We love music. My background is so vast when it comes to music. Didn't matter what kind of music as long as it sounded good. You know what I mean? So I have a background in classical and jazz, R&B, blues, blah, 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 blah. But music is music to me.
Sure.
And so...
How would you describe the family's music? Like, you handed me an album over here. What am I going to get into?
I would say positivity. Okay. And somewhat of an emotional journey. For us, this album took a lot of effort and so much, because at one point we had to keep on changing the vocals because we were so young when we started singing, and then everybody's voices started changing.
Can't hit the notes anymore.
You used to sound like Steve Urkel at one point. I'm not lying.
Well, now Niall sounds like. Can you give us Niall? Say hi.
Hello. I don't sound like Steve Urkel anymore.
I was in a musical one time, and my voice changed mid production, and I lost the part.
Wow.
Because I went from soprano to tenor just about overnight, and they were like, "Sorry, you're out." So I can vibe with that. I get it.
What was the musical?
It was a Christmas Carol.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's too much PTSD. Not going to get into it.
You guys are also known for your charity work in the community. What groups do you like to focus on?
The senior community, youth, and homeless.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Well, it's
There's a
Maestro
big,
and
there's a big need.
Maestro and I both working at the Community Music Center. We work with older adult choirs, and Maestro has over 30 years of work with seniors and specifically with dealing with Alzheimer's and dementia. And he even started a program that was music therapy that was sponsored by the United Way in the 90s. So we took those techniques and used them in older adult choirs, but then we also saw a need in youth. So we started working with summer programs, Village Project in Fillmore with Adrian Williams, and all of that work. And it was not work; it was out of love. We got so much in return, and us experiencing homelessness. When we got out of it, even the children as well, they grew up pretty fast with that experience.
Sure.
After that, we started working with Mother Brown's Kitchen under the direction of Gwen Westbrook, and also IT Bookman out of Lakeview under the direction of Felicia Thibodeau.
Jones Methodist.
And Jones Methodist, where we go to church. And we'd get out of our cars, specifically with Mother Brown's. There was a program called Food for Your Body, Food for Your Soul. And we would get out of the car with our keyboard and speakers and our microphones. Everything was portable, and we would sing in the middle of the street while teams would feed people on the street or knock on doors and say, "Hey, do you need groceries?" And we did that all throughout the pandemic.
Yeah, I feel like that was one of our favorite times as well, because we ended up building there was already a community that we had, but we ended up getting to know so many people, and just knowing that when we were singing for people, how much it touched them that we were singing for them.
Yeah.
And that was a really special moment.
It's the healing power of music.
I do want to mention Project Level because
Please.
they've done a lot for children in the community, along with Miss Adrian Williams at Village Project.
Yeah.
And so we found ourselves immersed in community activism. It's when you live in your community and you're not active, you're part of a problem because there are needs that need to be met. And so, we rose to the occasion and we came out and did what we needed to do, and then we'd sing them songs.
It's the best way to give back.
Yeah.
It's therapeutic. Music is therapeutic.
I was going to say,
definitely.
my dad has Alzheimer's, and whenever I throw on, he loves classical music. When I put on O Sole Mio, he just lights up, and it brings him back. And cognitively, he just gets better.
Yeah.
The power of music is just
Yes, it is.
unbelievable. And then we're going to experience that tomorrow. Go to Thrive City. Everything kicks off at 6 o'clock. Do you guys have any idea what time you're going on?
We'll be on around 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if the music matches the outfits, I'm in. What can we expect on stage tomorrow night?
Daddy, you say.
I want to say Simon Cowell said the same thing when we were on America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
They said if they sound as good as they look. And
That was Heidi, actually.
Heidi, yeah, and he agreed. Yeah.
Yeah.
What could you expect?
Songs from our album, Awaken, out now.
Eclecticism,
Okay.
retro soul,
Yeah.
flashback,
All right.
Yes.
I love it.
and fun.
Fun's the operative word here.
Fun, definitely.
Don't miss out. The Curtis family C Notes. You might have seen them on season 16 of America's Got Talent. Y'all made it to the quarterfinals. Yeah. You guys, give me one rock star moment that you experienced when you were doing that show. One where you were like, "Oh my God, this is amazing."
Oh wait, I remember on the second episode that we were on, which was the live shows. I was on a platform with a bunch of lights around it, And at one point, I felt like a superstar, bro. I was in the middle, and the platform was super big, so I was like,
You were up
I
way
was
high.
up way
The
high.
world could see you at that point.
Yeah. Period.
Anybody else got a decent story?
Well, I think the first time we met someone and they started crying.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, I know that's not like rocks. I mean, I don't know if that's a rock star moment, but that was something like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, are you okay? And she was like, I'm just so happy to meet you. And I started crying, and then everybody started crying. So yeah, it was just, and when she said that family means so much to her, and I don't know what she might have been going through because it was in passing.
Sure.
And it just made me feel like, oh, I think we might. I've always felt like we were on the right track, but that was kind of a, wow, this might be bigger than us.
Yeah. When you could realize the impact of what you do, I think that's fantastic.
I would say everywhere we go, we're recognized.
Yeah.
Mom and I now are recognized without the froze.
Without the frozen.
Well, you guys blend in so well with this.
Yeah, but everywhere we go, they see the froze, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
we know you. Now we're recognized without the froze. So Mom and I can be out, and they go, aren't you the parents of those?
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for making the Bay Area proud, you guys. We appreciate it very much. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night at Thrive City.
you.
The Curtis Family C Notes, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.